This week we're looking at a translation choice that really shouldn't be a choice. It's in John chapter 6, verse 70, and let's start out with several English versions. First up, the ESV. Jesus answered them, "Did I not choose you, the 12, and yet one of you is a devil?" Now the King James. Jesus answered them, "Have I not chosen you, the 12, and one of you is a devil?" And then we get the NIV, the New International. Then Jesus replied, "Have I not chosen you, the 12, yet one of you is a devil?" So you may be saying, well, Ken, those all seem very, very similar. And yes, they do. The question here is about the phrase "a devil." I did a quick survey and I found 35, at quick glance, 35 English versions that say, "And is one of you not a devil?" But there are 2.5 versions that say, "Is one of you not the devil?" And let's take a look at those quickly. How can you have a half a version, you say? You'll see in a moment. Starting with the Holman Christian Standard Bible, Jesus replied to them, "Didn't I choose you, the 12, yet one of you is the devil?" Followed up by the Lexicon English Bible, Jesus replied to them, "Did I not choose you, the 12, and one of you is the devil?" And then the half a version, the Bible in Basic English says, "Then Jesus said, Did I not make a selection of you, the 12, and one of you is a son of the evil one?" Well, I don't know where they got son of the evil one. I think what they've done is, because there's no reference to a son in the verse in the Greek text, I think what they've done is, in order to communicate that this is to be taken figuratively and that one of them is not literally the evil one or the devil, they went with a son of the evil one. So that's why I'm saying there's 2.5 versions that I quickly found that have the devil. But let's take a look at the verse as it's written in Koine, and we'll tear that apart and determine whether or not we should go with a devil with the vast majority or the devil with a minority reading. And let's look. Uk ego humas tous dodeca exelaxamen kai ex humon heis diabolos estin. So let's take the first part. Uk ego, uk is not, ego is I. Then our verb, exelexamen, is an aorist tense, first person singular verb, I chose. So uk ego exelexamen, did I not choose? Because it's a question, right? Notice that there's a semicolon after our verb, and the semicolon in Koine is the question mark. Did I not choose humas, you plural, tous dodeca, the 12? Did I not choose you, the 12? Then we get the last part. Kai ex humon, and from among you, or and of you, heis. Notice this is heis with a rough breathing mark and not ace with a smooth breathing mark. Ace is in or into, heis is the number one. So kai ex humon heis, and from you one, estin, the last word is our verb, is diabolos, the devil. Now, someone looking at that and saying, Ken, there's no article in front of diabolos. So why wouldn't you translate it a devil? That brings us to the reason why I say there really shouldn't be a choice in this translation. I'm siding with the devil minority over the a devil majority because of the nature of the noun diabolos. So diabolos is a monadic noun, and a monadic noun is a noun that doesn't need an article to make it definite because its uniqueness, its one-of-a-kindness, automatically makes it definite. So how many devils are there? If we're talking about the devil, Satan, the accuser, then there's only one. And that's critically important. If there's only one devil, then diabolos, devil, is, which comes from slanderer. If it were being used as an adjective, slanderer, slander, it wouldn't need to be monadic. But if we're talking about a creature, the devil, of Old Testament and New Testament scripture, then this is a singular being. This is a one-of-a-kind, unique creature, and therefore is a monadic noun and is definite even without the article in front of it. If there's only one, it's automatically definite. So let's talk about an example of monadic nouns. In Luke chapter 21, verse 25, there's a reference to the sun and the moon. And the phrase is helio kai selene, sun and moon. But it's translated the sun and the moon. Why? Because sun and moon are monadic. Even though today we understand that the sun, our sun, is a star, one among countless billions of stars, it is unique in as much as we're traveling around it. No one would say to you, get up early tomorrow morning, stand outside and face east, and wait for a sun to rise. No, you go outside and wait for the sun to rise, because there's only this one star that's going to rise above the horizon, like it has every day of your life. It is the sun and not a sun, because we don't have multiple suns on Earth. There are multiple stars in the universe, but there's just one sun that rises in the east as we travel around it as a planet. Same with the moon. There are moons around distant planets, but in the 1st century AD, when these texts were written, there was one moon, the white and gray thing, that goes through phases as it circles the Earth, right? So that's what it means to be a monadic noun. Diabolos, the devil, is a monadic noun in as much as it refers to one specific devil. So let's go back to our verse and look at that last phrase again. Kai ex humon heis diabolos astin, and one of you is the devil. So diabolos, monadic, referring to one creature, because there's just one creature who is the devil. There's another word that created this challenge for us, and that word is daimonion. Daimonion in the New Testament is translated demon. Outside the New Testament is either demon, deity, or divinity. And it's not monadic because there are multiple demons, deities, divinities in the cosmic view of the 1st century outside the New Testament. Inside the New Testament, there are multiple demons. So one might say, not all demons are the devil, right? The devil is a unique creature, a separate being, a separate creature in a separate role. But daimonion, demon, can mean one of many. You can have a demon, but the devil, diabolos, has to be the devil because there's just one. That's the difference. So if we pause and think about how this happened, why are the majority of translations translating it a devil? It comes back to the legacy of the King James translation, the King James Version, which is frequently abbreviated as AV, the authorized version. It was so predominant, it was so, what's the word I'm looking for? Pervasive, ubiquitous, that's the word I'm looking for. It was so ubiquitous as to be thought of for quite some time as the Bible. This is the one. And those translators used diabolos, devil, and daimonion, demon, as synonyms. I shouldn't say they used them as synonyms, they treated them as synonyms. But if you break out the best lexicons, like the Bauer, Arndt, Gingrich, Danker lexicon of the New Testament Greek, or if you go to the gold standard theological dictionary of the New Testament, or if you really reach for basically any Greek lexicon, what you'll see is diabolos and daimonion are clearly not synonyms. One is the devil, a specific being. The other is a demon, a deity, a divinity among many. And they should not be treated as synonyms. But there are verses in the King James that take daimonion and translate it as devils or a devil, whereas it shouldn't be. It should be a demon, a spirit, an evil spirit even, but certainly not the devil, because there's only one of those. And that's important for how that sort of tradition spilled out into translation and resulted in the notion of, did I not choose you, the 12, and one of you is a devil, became pervasive and contradicts the nature of the noun diabolos, which is monadic because there's only one. So, someone's saying right now, yes, but it's being used figuratively here. Of course it's being used figuratively. Jesus isn't suggesting that Judas is literally the devil, that Judas is Satan, any more than when he said to Peter, "Get behind me, Satan." He didn't mean that Peter was literally Satan, but imagine for a moment if Jesus would have said, "Get behind me, a Satan," or "Get behind me, Peter, you are operating like a Satan." No, there's only one Satan, the devil. Peter later says, the devil, is stalking you like a lion looking to tear you apart, right? Because he understands that there's one devil, the devil, monadic. Okay, let's carry on. So, did I not choose you, the 12, and one of you is the devil, diabolos, definite without the article because it's monadic? And that doesn't mean those other translations are bad or terrible or evil or corrupt or anything like that. It just shows you that translation is a fluid thing and that people are influenced by things. One of my professors said, I'll never forget, he said, when it comes to translating, when it comes to exegesis and interpretation, hermeneutics, every single person has biases. The thing to do is to know what yours are and not to try to deny that you have them. So the reason we're looking at this is to simply recognize that the influence of the authorized version caused a bias in translators to take a word that should clearly be accepted as monadic, the devil, and treat it as though it wasn't monadic and translate that phrase, diabolos estin, as is a devil. There's not room for that lexically. This word means the devil. So there you have it. What are you going to do with this information? Just know that you too have biases, and the thing to do is to figure out what they are so that you can correct for them and not deny them. And one of the easiest ways to do that is get up tomorrow morning, go out and face east, and if you catch yourself waiting for a sun to rise, you have a bias. If you recognize that you're waiting for the sun to rise, then you have embraced the reality of monadic nouns. Hope that was good for you. If it was, you know what to do. Until next time, Kar Sky Rene Humin, grace and peace to you.